Just because you like an apartment and you apply for it and they approve you does not mean that you can afford it. Let's say you bring in about $4,000 a month, and you be like, oh, and you see that the rent is $1,600. Don't just start at the rent game. You gotta look deeper into it. You got utilities, you got groceries, you got things like that. Those things really matter when it comes to dealing with living expenses. So in today's video, as you can see by the thumbnail and the title, we're gonna be talking about how much rent could you really afford? So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into the video. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Keon, and I'm back with another video. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you're not new, welcome back. I appreciate all of my supporters, all of you. I see that y'all enjoying the content. Let's keep liking the videos, commenting, interacting, gaining this knowledge while we're on this run and getting to know each other, building the community. So I'll be going off a few things that I got noted. So the first thing I want to talk about is you want to stop starting off with the apartment number, just the rent, the base rent, because that's just the base rent. That's not including, like, let's say for instance, I got an apartment. Base rent is, let's say, $1,500, but then you got the hassle-free living. You have like amenity. You got to pay for all the amenities and stuff, pest control. You got utilities. That's probably about another $500 altogether, maybe. Because when people think about rent, they just only see the base rent. But when you get in that room and you about to sign that lease, you start seeing all these extra fees and stuff coming through, and you like, hold on, I thought I could afford it, but it's like, nah, it's too late. Like, you about to get ready to sign in. Like, and let me tell you what gets you. You get this mindset like, okay, I could afford this. I really want to live in here. I like the nice closet. I like the gym, the amenities, the pool, all the things like that. The walk-in closet, the nice kitchen, the island. I'm telling you things that I look at. The space. You like all this stuff. But you telling yourself like, I really could see myself living here. But then you go out and pay this high-ass rent thinking that you can really afford it. You can, but I don't want you to be looking at the wrong numbers when you're looking at the rent. So we're gonna break it down. You're gonna use your use your take home pay, right? Let's say you make about $60,000 a year. Divide that by 12. That's about $5,000 a month, right? Okay, cool. But that whole $5,000 is not hitting your account because you got taxes, you got insurance, investment, and stuff like whatever is coming out. So let's say you take home maybe $4,000, like I said in the beginning of the video. Now your rent is $1,600. But yeah, like I was saying, that $4,000 hits your account, but your rent is $1,600, base rent. Now I know they say that you ever heard that you're supposed to use 30% of your income towards like your living expenses and stuff like that, like on housing. But you can't just say everybody 30% is not the same 30%, because one person, it may be two people making the same thing, but one person may have debt, one person may not have debt, and then they got a $600 car note, $250 insurance, things like that. Like, they just got a whole bunch of bills and other responsibilities, student loans, credit card payments, stuff like that. So that's why you gotta look at it on both sides. But let's actually break down the check, right? The rent, $1,600. Electricity, let's say, I'm gonna say it's between, depending on how much you use your lights and stuff, $70 to $200. If you stand by yourself, you should not be using that much electricity, gang. Unplug some of that stuff. Water bill, maybe like $50 to $100. Internet may come with the rent too, because I know my internet come with it. So let's say the internet may be about $70 if it don't come with the rent. Then you got renter's insurance. Mine's is like $6. I don't heard some people say they pay like hundreds of dollars for renter's insurance. Now you add all that up, that may be $1,900, close to $2,000, and you just thought that you was only paying $1,500 to $1,600. It might be at $2,000 by now. You playing? Then you didn't even talk about groceries, your car payment, gas, your phone bill, debt, savings, going out, little spending money, whatever, uniforms, shit. If you got kids, Lord. Now You looking at yourself like, damn, what did I get myself into? So you need to, before you even go look at the rent, people start off with the rent. Don't just look at the rent. You need to go see how much money can you spare, how much money can you spend, what wiggle room do you have. You need to go budget and see your expenses. Stop just jumping into things that when you know you probably can't afford it, because it will put you negative, put you in bad equity in the long run. So do the money leftover test. It's the easiest way to look at it. After you pay rent, utilities, car, insurance, phone bill, groceries, and debt, all your needs, how much money do you have left? Let's say we still stuck on a $4,000 take home pay. After everything is paid, let's say you got $100 left. You can't afford that apartment game. No, you can't. Honestly, how you gonna live? What if you get paid every 2 weeks? What if you get paid every week? I feel like you still can't. No, it's no way you can afford the apartment. You might be able to be making your bills, but you not having no paper to, like, you know, having left over. Unless shit, you got a good emergency savings, you got some backup shit. But I just feel like, nah. What if you want to go travel and shit like that? Although all your bills are paid and shit like, but come on, bruh. Let's be realistic. And then when you getting into these apartments, man, make sure that you can still save. Make sure the apartment is not taking away your saving funds. Cause before you had got the apartment, you was able to save buku money. Now you can't save nothing because you gotta pay rent, and rent is killing you. And I don't want you to fall in that position. So either you gotta work harder, or just make the smart decision to either look. Cause let me tell you, rent has gone higher, and you gotta pay for what you want. I'm gonna just justify that right there. You gotta pay for what you want. So with that being said, if you want to live in a little modern little area, some little luxury shit, you might gotta pay for it. You feel me? Hold on, my camera dying. I ain't gonna lie, I kind of forgot what I was saying, but I know I was saying something along the lines of you don't want to get in that have that apartment, making it to where you not being able to save. Oh, I was saying that these apartments, if you gotta live for what you wanna, you gotta live for what you want, you gotta pay for what you want, because you may have these. You want to live modern, you want to live luxury. Even although you don't have to go get the most modern, but you don't want to live in no dirty job, something with bad reviews. So, and the rent has gone higher. So, come on, man. You gotta pay. You gotta upgrade your income or what? Start budgeting, making sure you can do your thing, get on your shit. Simple. And listen, and you need to be calculating your base pay. You feel me? Don't be trying to build your rent around your overtime, because then what if they stop doing overtime? It's like you have to work overtime to pay your rent. Nah, reconsider. Don't do it. Please don't. Boom. My next thing is you got the move-in cost. The move-in cost and shit be high. Sometimes they be between $250 to $500. You got the application fee, move-in cost. You got to pay a prorated amount of rent. And on top of that, the next month rent too. Shit, if you want to move out, guess what? You got to pay 3 times the rent. Like, bro, this shit kind of damn near a scam. But it's like we need some place to stay for right now. You know, if you can't stay with your peoples, you gotta go out on your own. So that's why when you go out on your own, you gotta get something that's where you can still save, so you can get something that you actually want to own. Don't get in no 360 deal with no apartment complex. Because if you're going to have to get out of it. And then if you get evicted, that's going to your credit. Just go ahead and just move out. Think twice, man. You just got to reconsider your options. For real. Then, so after you do all that, like, you're going to really figure out how much rent can you really afford. So take yourself through the test that I told you in the middle of the video. You can scroll back to it. That's basically calculating all your expenses. Looking at like, you can, so you calculate your expenses, then you go tour the apartment. They're gonna break down all the numbers for you. You get those numbers, put it into the expenses, and see how much you got left over with your take home pay. Don't look at the bigger number. Look at the money that's actually hitting your bank account when you go home. So let's say you get paid every 2 weeks. You add those 2 checks up, and that's what you make a month. Let's say you get paid every week. You add those 4 to 5 checks up. That's what you get paid a month. That's your monthly salary. So then you subtract your expenses from that, and boom, are you able to afford this apartment? How much money do you have left over? Are you still being able to save? Are you taking away from your savings to accommodate the apartment? What is it? So, with that being said, that's today's video. Could you really afford? How much rent could you afford? Can you really afford that apartment that you're looking at? So, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. I love all y'all, man. Let's make it on this 6-month run. 180 days. We could do stuff. We could do a check-in every 30 days too. Our 30-day mark almost coming up. So that being said, hope y'all on y'all shit, cause I'm on mine. I'ma catch y'all later.